Hello dear learners. I, Dr. Vivek from Department of Pharmacy, Government Polytechnic Jalgaon, is come up with the very interesting topic under the pharmaceutical jurisprudence, that is Pharmacy Act 1948. Under that, we will going to discuss the part 1 of this Pharmacy Act 1948. Now, let us see the learning outcomes. After watching this video, the learners will be able to understand the 4 learning outcome. So let us see one by one. The first is to identify the objective of the Pharmacy Act. Second learning outcome is to define the various terms of the Act. Third one is to explain the constitution and functions of PCI. And fourth one is to describe the State Pharmacy Council. Now let us see the objective of this Pharmacy Act 1948. But before that, we need to understand the introduction and need of this act. As per recommendation of DEC, we were already see the Drug Inquiry Committee recommendation and Health Survey and Development Committee regarding formation of Central Council and State Pharmacy Council for taking care of education of pharmacists. The Pharmacy Act come into the existence on 4th March 1948 and the amendment of Pharmacy Act was done on 1959 and next one, the latest one is the 1976. Now let us see the objective one by one. The major objective of this act is to regulate the profession and business of pharmacy. Second objective is to provide uniform education and training. And third objective is to maintain the control over the person entering into the profession of pharmacy. These are all are the objective, and now we will going to see the details under the Pharmacy Act 1948. So the very first things under that the Pharmacy Act is various terminology. Let us see the different terminology and their definition. First one is the Central Council. Because we must have to understand first all definition, all terminology. Then and then only we can understand the concept and aspect has been discussed in this particular chapter. So in the first one is the Central Council. The Central Council is the Pharmacy Council of India constituted under section 3. Second terminology is the Central Register. The Register of Pharmacies maintained by the Central Council under section 15A. Please be concentrate on section. And next one is the registered pharmacist. So the very important terminology as far as our profession is concerned, that is a person whose name is for the time being entered in the register of pharmacist for a state in which he is for the time being residing. Next terminology is the medical practitioner. Under that there are the person holding qualification granted by an authority specified or notified under section 3 of the Indian Medical Degree Act 1916 or as may be specified in the schedules to the Indian Medical Council Act 1956, or otherwise it can be defined as the person who is registered or eligible for the registration in a medical register for a state meant for the registration of person practicing the modern scientific system of medicine. And third definition of medical practitioner is the person who is registered for the registration in a medical register for a state who, although not falling within the subclause of 1 and 2, is declared by general or special order made by the state government in this behalf as a person practicing modern scientific system of medicine. We must have to write down this definition as it is, and you must have to understand the things. Now, the next definition under that is displaced person. What is displaced person? The displaced person means the person who, on account of setting up the dominions of India and Pakistan, or an account of civil disturbances, or for the fear of such a disturbances, now forming the part of Pakistan, has on or after 1st March 1947 left or has been displaced from his place of residence and who has since then been residing in India. That is called as displaced person. That displaced person definition is completely related before the independence and during the time of separation between India and Pakistan, or we can say that India and Bangladesh. Now we will going to see the another definition which is related, called as repatriate. So what is repatriate? Repatriate means any person of Indian origin who, on account of civil disturbances or for the fear of such disturbances, now forming the part of Sri Lanka, Burma, Uganda or any other such country, has on or after 14th April 1957 left or has been displaced from his place of residence and who has since then been residing in India. That is called as the repatriate. These are the terminology, we must have to know it before the using of this terminology while discussing the Pharmacy Council of India as well as the education regulation under the Pharmacy Act 1948. Now the another terminology is University Grant Commission. UGC established under section 4 of UGC Act 1956. The Indian University, it means the university within the meaning of section 3 of the UGC Act 1956 and includes such other institution being institution by or under a central act as the central government may by notification in the official gazette specified in this behalf. This is the University Grant Commission. Nowadays the Indian Universities and University Grant Commission is the very renowned terminology in the education field of the India and such similarly in the pharmacy profession. Now let us see the Pharmacy Council of India, and here we will going to see the constitution of Pharmacy Council of India. The first constitution under the Pharmacy Council of India is to have a 6 member and one out of that 6 member, one teacher of each of the subject. The subject we know that is pharmacology, pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy. These are the pharmaceutical sciences related subject, and that is the one teacher of each subject, and which is elected by the UGC. UGC means University Grant Commission. So the 6 members under the constitution, then another 6 member nominated by the central government, and they should possess 4 out of 6, the 4 shall possess the degree and diploma in pharmacy. Now another 1 member under the Constitution of Pharmacy Council of India is elected by the member of Medical Council of India, and another members under the representative of UGC means University Grant Commission and AICTE, All India Council of Technical Education. One member of each means UGC and AICTE. This is the constitution. In the continuation of this constitution, let us see the constitution. The another 1 member is as per the Pharmacy Amendment Act 1976 nominated by each union territory. Then 1 member of each state nominated by state government. This is under the Constitution of Pharmacy Council of India. We required that much number of the members. Now the last is the ex officio members. These are the very special members, that is the Director General of Health Services. Under the ex officio, the Drug Controller of India, as well as the Director of Central Drug Laboratory. These are the ex officio members which is to be included into the Constitution of Pharmacy Council of India. And these constitution will decide. What they decide, we will going to see in the functions. So here I have given you the one example that is present in present situation when you enter into the Pharmacy Council of India site. This is the building of Pharmacy Council of India, National Pharmacy Council of India, or centrally located, and this is the site. You can visit the site of Pharmacy Council of India, a statutory body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, which is very important as far as our pharmacy profession is concerned. So you should have to visit that. That's why I have placed the Pharmacy Council of India for your knowledge, so that you, whenever you are gone through that, you should have to understand this is the site and what are the different general information, rules and regulation, means latest detail you can take it from that particular site of Pharmacy Council of India. Now under this topic we will going to see the functions of Pharmacy Council of India. We were seen the constitution, and after that constitution what are their role and functions of the Pharmacy Council of India. So let us see one by one. The main function of Central Council are to prescribe the minimum standard of education required for qualification as a pharmacist. Then the second function is to regulate the minimum education standard. For this purpose, the Central Council appoint a pharmacy inspector. Then third one is to grant or approval or withdrawal the approval to recognize the qualification granted outside the territory to which Pharmacy Act 1948 extend for the purpose of qualifying for the registration under the said act. Now third function is to approve qualification granted outside, which I already told you. Then next one is to prepare a central register for pharmacies containing names of all persons for the time being entered in the state register. These are all the main functions of the PCI, and which is very important when we are talking about the Pharmacy Council of India. Now other functions of central councils are as follow. So let us see one by one. To appoint a registrar who shall act as a secretary and even as a treasurer of pharmacy. Next one is to Council of India with the prior sanction of central government. Then is to acquire and maintain the movable and immovable properties of the government. Then to appoint and fix the pay to be paid to the officers and servants to enable to carry out its function. Then next function is to fix the allowances to be paid to the President and Vice President of Pharmacy Council of India. And next one is to fix the place, date and timing of meeting, and other functions included to get the accounts audit from the auditors. So here in the central council there is a formation of president and vice president also, and what are their function that is mentioned over here specifically, and what are the terms of office and casual vacancies and staff remuneration and allowances is already the under the functions of Central Council or a Pharmacy Council of India. So which is mentioned over here. So I thought you might have understood all the topic. So thank you for your patience hearing. Thank you very much. If you like this video, kindly subscribe the channel and click on bell icon. Thank you, dear learners. We will meet again in the continuation of this video. Till then, goodbye and have a nice week and month.